Hi family, welcome back to another episode. I can't say recently because I actually watched this a few weeks ago when it was first released, but then I got the flu and I couldn't record. I watched the documentary Hellier. You can find it for free either here on YouTube or by going to their website hellier.tv. Very interesting documentary put together by Greg and Dana Newkirk and hold on, I got notes because I have a horrible memory. Connor James Randall and Carl Pfeiffer. Greg Newkirk received a email from a man named David Christie who said that he lived in this small little former coal camp in eastern Kentucky named Hellyer. Hellyer only been really around since around early 1900s, and it was named for Ralph Augustus Hellyer, who came from Bangor, Maine, to be the head of Elkhorn Coal and Coke. You find things like that all across eastern Kentucky. Small little coal camps or former coal camps that were named after the heads of the coal company. I grew up in Hellier, Kentucky, which is a former coal camp, and it was named after the former head of Consolidated Coal, Hellier Black. You find little places like that all around this. Hellyer has a population of just under 200 people. I think it's like 190 on a good day. Very small, and it is in a very rural part of Pike County. Pike County is our largest county in the state in terms of land mass, largest. I think it's like 11th as far as population goes. Now, I don't want to go too much into detail of what is in the documentary because I really want you, if you have not watched the documentary, I want you to go watch the documentary because I was pleasantly surprised by it. I was, and actually wish that I knew that they were in town, well, in my area in eastern Kentucky filming, because I probably would have sought them out. Not in a weird stalker kind of way, but I would have sought them out. So often when people come into eastern Kentucky to do documentaries, they portray us as ignorant, dumb, hillbilly, holler people. And the Newkirks and their friends that came together for this documentary that was entirely self-funded. So if you go to their website, hellier.tv, there's a donation button. Donate money to them. They're doing good work in the field of paranormal and bringing you excellent content. So often though, when people come in, they just portray us horribly, and it's so embarrassing and so hard to watch. They handle this really well, and I know this is a weird subject matter because it's goblins coming out of a mine shaft, but they handled it really well and really professionally. So yeah, that's the content of it. This person, David Christie, said that there was an old mine located on his property, which is not uncommon in this area. The place I grew up had a mine on our property. There's not a mine on the property I live in currently, but there are mines in this area. I could easily go for a walk and find a old abandoned mine shaft. And this guy, he said he was a doctor, which Pike County has one of our largest hospitals in the area. It also has a university, so, whether it was a medical doctor or a PhD, it's likely. He said that he had moved to the area and creatures were coming out of the mine at night and tormenting them. And the fact that it was referred to as goblins instantly struck a chord with like everybody who heard the story, because this isn't the first time that goblins have been sighted in Kentucky. If you go back to 1955, there was a very startling UFO alien encounter in Kentucky that happened on the far end of the state in Hopkinsville, Christian County, and it became known as the Kelly Little Green Men case, or the Kentucky Goblins. And these creatures were spotted on a farm, and the people who lived on the farm had family in, and they actually fired at the creatures. They were described as, kind of short in stature, three-toed, big ears, kind of like large eyes. But they said it was almost like they were wearing a headset and glasses. Descendants of the family still swear that this case is 100% true, that the family was not making it up. I don't know, I wasn't there. But if you take away the ears, like say they were wearing a weird headset, the creature in this case in the Kelly Hopkinsville case looks startlingly similar to the creature that was described in the Pike County Hellyer case. Now, I don't know. I kind of wonder why the guy didn't put up security cameras. Our area is rife with drugs right now, with crime, and it's just smart to have security cameras. And I know this took place a few years ago, but still, it's smart to have security cameras. I remember when I first heard about the case, shortly after it sort of broke, one of them did a write-up or something about it. I shared the article with a friend of mine who's in law enforcement. Actually, I shared it with a few of them. And then just regular friends around the area. And pretty much everyone's consensus was, well, if he's seeing people or creatures coming out of the mine shaft, then it is probably drug addicts going into the mines looking for copper to steal, to scrap for money. That's really common. If you remember, not long ago, I think it was actually around Christmas, West Virginia had a case where 3 people was lost in a mine, and that's what they were doing. They were in there. They were all addicts. They were looking for stuff they could steal to sell for money. It happens. It's sad, but that is life in the economically depressed area of eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, the coal fields area. But the more I started watching the documentary, the more intrigued I became, especially by some of the artist renditions they did of the creature. Because if you listen to our podcast, then you probably already know where I'm going with this. Several years ago, when my sister's oldest child was little, I think she was like 3 or 4, probably 4. My sister had an encounter with a creature that we refer to on our podcast, anyhow we bring him up, as Doughboy. And then Holly did not tell the kids this. She messaged me about it. She talked to me about it. Went right after it happened. But she did not tell the kids about it. And then just a few weeks later, Abby saw the same creature, only instead of in the house this time, it was outside her bedroom window. Well, the creature that they describe in the documentary is so very similar to Doughboy. Is it the same creature? I don't know. I know they mentioned that when they went around the state, they found at one of the parks, I think it was in a cave city, somebody mentioned seeing a creature similar. So they started drawing parallels with the fact that all these things are close to mines or caves. That's a thing you will see routinely in the documentary. I don't know if where my sister's house was that she saw this, which her ex-husband still owns the house. He lives in it. He has not seen anything. And I don't know if that house is near a cave. It's very flat where they live, where the house is. But it's not far from a lake and from hills, so maybe. But there is no like direct cave system on their property, on that property that I know of. Just a nice little residential subdivision. So yeah. Very good documentary. If this is something that you are interested in, aliens, mysterious creatures, ghosts, paranormal, you should check out their documentary. You will like it. They explain this case really in depth. They do some very interesting experiments to try to contact whatever this creature is, and just the sheer I don't even know what word I'm looking for here. Just the randomness of them getting this message from this person to come here to investigate this random case is just, it's amazing. Because, I mean, we have paranormal groups in this area. We have very good paranormal groups in this area. Do I think that there is something going on? Maybe. Probably. Eastern Kentucky's weird. Kentucky is weird. I had a friend, well, I had an acquaintance years ago who said that, you know, her and her husband they lived in another state. Her and her husband were team drivers, long haul truck drivers. She said she hated being the one driving at night through Kentucky. She said there's just something spooky about Kentucky. I mean, she was sticking to main roads and interstates. I mean, and I kind of have to agree. It's a weird state. Even, you know, the Native American settlers who, you know, hunted this land thought that Kentucky was, you know, weird. And I'm having trouble finding the link to this now, but I remember in grade school, one of our teachers read us a story. It was, I wouldn't say Cherokee, story about how the caves in Kentucky were inhabited by like little hobbit-like creatures. I don't know. I thought it was interesting at the time. That story has stuck with me. I would love to be able to find it. Maybe I should like look her up on Facebook and find her, because she was rather young when she taught me in grade school, so she's probably still She's probably not still teaching, but she's probably like nearing retirement age. A lot of UFO activity in eastern Kentucky. Like a lot of UFO activity. So maybe it's all tied together. I think most of y'all have heard the famous UFO versus train incident that supposedly happened in eastern Kentucky. I don't really believe if that happened. It seems a little far-fetched. I think it's a little bit more logical that rocks fell from the hillside, because our rocks here are they're soft. So we have rock slides all the time. I mean, it's, especially during rainy seasons, it's almost a daily occurrence to have a road closed, at least temporarily, because rocks have fallen in the road. We had a case we had an incident just a couple days ago where a rock shut down one of our major roads in the area, US 23, because it fell into the road and a car hit it. As far as I know, everyone in the car was okay, but I'm pretty sure the car was totaled. I mean, it happens. So I think it's more logical that a rock probably hit the train. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I mean, I remember when I was little, like everybody in the little area that I was from would go up onto the strip mine and watch lights in the sky. Just, it was almost like they were playing tag, back and forth, like super fast. So, were they UFOs? I don't know. Were they just really super fast military airplanes? I don't know. I can say that, we've had a lot of sightings of UFOs in the area, especially in, Pike County. So it's possible that all of this is linked somehow. I'm looking forward to what Greg and Dana and the rest of them have in store for the next installment of this documentary on goblins. I hope that they, try to find and see if it's, a phenomenon that's happening in other places, not just Kentucky. I think that this Hellier documentary that's out is 5 parts. I think it's 5 episodes. I think each one is about an hour long or so. I binge watched them. They were good. So I'm going to try to provide a link in the description notes below so that you can watch them yourself. I recommend them. And if you've had an experience like this yourself, contact me. I'd love to hear about it. Contact the Newkirks. I'm sure they would love to hear about it. I'm trying to talk my sister into doing a little write-up about her experience and sending it to them, because it's fascinating. And I think the more that we can gather together everyone's experiences and really tackle this from a scientific approach, maybe we can get to the bottom of what's going on and, make some breakthroughs. Thanks for watching. If you like this episode and you like the other episodes I've posted on this channel, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. Ring the bell if you want notifications that I've posted new content. Thanks for watching. Bye.